They say every college campus has its secrets. Have you ever wondered what lurks in the shadows of your college campus after dark? For most students, those secrets are just ghost stories, harmless legends to scare freshmen. But I know better. I know about some places where the stories come alive. And let me tell you, some ghosts never leave. Here are 3 first-hand stories I've come across. When I first moved into Stevens Hall at the University of Montevallo, I didn't think much about its history. It was just an old building, right? But things changed during my second semester. It was late, around 1 a.m., and I was up cramming for finals. Everyone else was asleep, and the hall was dead silent. I was just about to turn in when I heard it. A scream. At first I thought someone was messing around, but it didn't stop. It was high-pitched, distant, and terrified. I peeked into the hallway, but it was empty. I didn't see anyone, so I went back inside. And that's when I noticed the door. My dorm door. The wood grain, it looked different, like there was a face in it. At first, I thought it was just a trick of the light, but the more I looked, the clearer it got. It was a woman's face, and she looked like she was screaming. The next day I asked around. That's when someone told me about Condi Cunningham, a student who died in a fire here back in 1908. They said her screams can still be heard, and sometimes you can see her face burned into the wood. I laughed it off at first, but that night I heard the screams again, and this time there was a faint smell of smoke. I haven't slept soundly in Stevens Hall since. At Salem College, we have this legend about the Blue Lady, a ghost who's supposed to be the spirit of Mary, a teacher from the 1800s. People say she's harmless, even kind. But when you see her, it's unforgettable. I was in the library one night, working on a paper. It was late, maybe 2 a.m., and I was the only one there, or so I thought. I remember feeling this cold breeze, even though the windows were shut. Then I smelled flowers, like a whole garden blooming in the middle of winter. That's when I looked up and saw her. She was standing at the end of the room wearing this beautiful blue gown. Her face was calm, almost sad. I froze. I couldn't move or even breathe. And then just like that, she was gone. I don't know why she appeared to me that night, but I've heard others talk about the same thing. The breeze, the flowers, and the Blue Lady, always just out of reach. When I transferred to Smith College, I heard all the ghost stories, especially about the Ghost Bride. They say she's a woman who died on her wedding day, heartbroken and alone, and now she wanders the dorms in her wedding dress. I thought it was just a creepy campus legend, until one night I saw her. I was coming back to my room after a late night study session. The dorm was empty, and it was so quiet I could hear my own breathing. That's when I heard it. Faint footsteps behind me. I turned around and there she was. She was wearing a wedding dress, but it wasn't pristine. It was dirty, torn, like she'd been wandering for decades. She didn't say anything, didn't move, just stood there. I tried to convince myself it wasn't real, but then she lifted her head. I ran as fast as I could and didn't stop until I was back in my room with the door locked. To this day I don't know what I saw, but I'll never forget the feeling, the overwhelming sadness and the cold that seeped into my bones. These are the memories I can't shake, no matter how much time passes. Maybe they're just legends, stories we tell to scare ourselves. But then again, what if they're not? Have you experienced something unexplainable? Share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling tales.